Before we get into the compound interest, let's have a brief review of simple interest. In simple interest, when we have a principal amount P, after the first year, the amount will be principal plus certain interest calculated based on this principal. Then for the second year, it is principal plus 2 times the interest. And for the third year, it is principal plus 3 times the interest. So the amount which was initially taken will remain constant. Only the interest gets added up. Unlike this, in compound interest, when we take a certain amount as principal, after the first year, it will be principal plus interest based on the first principal. So that is I. But for the second year, the interest will not be I, it will be some I2. That is interest calculated on principal as well as the interest. And for the third year, this will be some I3. So as we proceed, the interest is actually compounded. I hope you are able to make out the difference. Now let's get into the formula. In compound interest, amount equals principal into 1 plus r by 100 to the power t, where a is the amount and p is the principal taken, and r is rate of interest and t is time for which the amount has been taken. Now for this, if you want to calculate the compound interest, it is basically amount minus principal. Therefore this is p into 1 plus r by 100 power t minus p. So when you take the p common, it is 1 plus r by 100 power t minus 1. So this particular formula we will be using in most of the questions. And one more important point to be noted, the above formula is applicable only when interest is compounded yearly. That means interest is calculated year to year. But it is not compulsory that in the question it will be yearly. It could be half year or quarterly or monthly. So let's also learn what will be the other formulae. If the interest is compounded half yearly, then the formula for the amount is A equals P into 1 plus R by 200 into 2t. So what happened is basically time has been changed to 2t and the rate has been changed to R by 2. Now if it is quarterly, then A will be P into 1 plus R by 400 into 40, and if it is monthly, amount equals P into 1 plus R by 1200 into 12t. I hope you are able to make out how we are writing the formula. Now most of the times, because we have an exponent t, it is better if we learn a little bit of shortcuts. So let's look into the rate of interest, r%. If it is 4, then 5, then 8, 10, 12 and 20. This will be the common rate of interest, and generally time is given 2 years. Then what happens is, we already know amount is principal into 1 plus r by 100 power t. Now let's take the example of 4%. So this is p into 1 plus 4 by 100 power 2. This is p into 1.04 square. Now at this point, if you can memorize this value, it's more easy to calculate. So let me write down the decimal to the power of 2 expansions. So 4% will have 1.04 square, which is 1.0816. And when it is 5%, it is 1.05 square. This is 1.1025. For 8, it is 1.1664. 10 means 1.1 square. This is 121, so 1.21. And then 12%, 1.12 square is 1.2544. And 1.2 whole square is 144, so 1.44. Try to memorize this so that the calculations will be much faster. Alright, now let's get into the type 1, that is basic formula based question. The compound interest earned by Suresh on certain amount at the end of 2 years at the rate of 8% per annum was rupees 1414.4. What was the total amount that Suresh got back at the end of 2 years in the form of principal plus interest? So here in this question, they are basically asking us to calculate the amount. Okay, let's do this. First, let me write the given data. The compound interest is 1414.4, rate is 8%, time is 2 years, amount we don't know, But before we get into the amount, first we need to know the principal. So this is also unknown. Now the formula is compound interest is P into 1 plus R by 100 power T minus 1. This is in whole bracket. Now when we substitute the values, 1414.4 equals P into 1 plus 8 by 100 power 2 minus 1. This is 1414.4 equals P into 1.08 square minus 1. Again, this value we already know. When we solve this, this whole thing comes out to be rupees 8,500. But this is not the answer. We are asked to calculate the amount, and we know that amount is principal plus compound interest, that is 8,500 plus 14.4, that is 9914.4. Don't forget to memorize the squares of decimals like 1.04 whole square, 1.08 whole square, so on. This will definitely speed up your calculations. To understand this, let's solve a problem. The simple interest accrued on a sum of certain principal is rupees 7,200 in 6 years at the rate of 12% per annum. What would be the compound interest accrued on the principal at the rate of 5% in 2 years? So here you can clearly see they gave simple interest, from that we got certain amount. Now that is used for the second. Here you can clearly see they have given the simple interest, time and the rate, but principal amount is not given. So we use that data to find the principal, then we'll use that in compound interest, and then we'll get the answer. To solve this, first let's get into the simple interest. For that, let me write the data. Simple interest is given as rupees 7,200, time is 6 years, and the rate is 12%. And principal is unknown, but we know the formula. Principal is simple interest into 100 by R into T. Now when we substitute the values, that is 7200 into 100 by 12 into 6, this is 10,000 rupees. Now for the compound interest, this value can be used as principal. So P is rupees 10,000, then rate for compound interest is 5% and time is 2 years. Now we already know the formula. Compound interest is P into 1 plus R by 100 power T minus 1. So this is 10,000 multiplied by this whole quantity will become 1.05 square minus 1. This is 0.1025. Therefore, the answer is rupees 1025. Therefore, the option is C. Okay, let's do one more question for practice. A man gets a simple interest of rupees 1000 on a certain principal at the rate of 5% per annum in 4 years. What compound interest will the man get on twice the principal in 2 years at the same rate? Very similar question. So let's try. Simple interest is given as rupees 1000, then rate is 5%, time is 4 years, and we know the formula. Principal is simple interest into 100 by rate into time. This is 1000 into 100 by 5 into 4. This is rupees 5,000. So from this data we could able to find the principal. Now let's move to the compound interest. They are saying that the man is able to get twice the principal. So for the second, we need to take the principal as 2 times the initial principal. Initially it was 5,000. So 2 times that is rupees 10,000. And rate, it is same as the previous, therefore 5%. Time is 2 years. Now let's take the formula. Compound interest is P into 1 plus R by 100 power time minus 1. Now once we substitute the values, this is 10,000 into 1.05 square minus 1. Very similar to the last one. This value is rupees 1025. I hope you are able to pick up the concept. Practice makes you perfect. So don't forget to solve the questions.